Oh, hello, chat. Good morning, Reaver. Good morning, Monastic Coffee. Hello, Crazy Matt Captain and Banana Mobster. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, welcome, 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 everybody to the show. Rejuve, a foolish genius, MT Kason, and Star Chaser, and Senjin 99. You are all welcome to join in time for the show with Nighthawk and anyone else that shows, like Dananer. And Jordan's here to mod. And good morning, Cloudy May. Hello, Jamick. Welcome. Reaver's gonna try and break Binwin. Okay, interesting. How are you gonna do that? Good luck. I am trying to make a good cup of coffee. I also have tea, for what it's worth. When is my tea show? Every show is my tea show. My captions wrote that as mighty show, as in I am very strong, I am mighty, which is very amusing to think about. That would make for a good name. The Mighty Show, but it's actually my tea show. Get it? Boo-doo, boo-doo. I need an easier way to transition with that in the middle of the song. Go. Here's a man who puts baby to shame. Oh, new country. His hands are magic. Idle champions his game. Now he's got a cup of tea for wetting his whistle. And don't you know, his advice is on point like a magic missile. Hey Mars, we got questions for you. We hope you answer them. Hey Mars, we need your guidance too, from your guiding hand. Now you know what we say. Look sharp. Yeah, put some country twang on that. Alright. Let's do a thing called live streaming? Greetings, champions! Welcome to Mars Guiding Hand. I'm Mars, this is Idle Chambers of the Forgotten Realms, the free-to-play, officially licensed Dungeons & Dragons formation strategy management video game from Codename Entertainment. On this show, we take a look at the latest content, discuss strategies, and answer any questions that you may have about the game. So get cozy, grab a drink, and join me for a little while as we talk about all things Idle Champions. Today is Thursday? No, I wish. It's Wednesday, my dudes. May 11th. 2022. This is episode 195. Welcome. I've already been awake for 3 hours because I had a very restless night. I did not sleep very well, so came in early and got some work done. Hello. I'm very tired. I am excited for the content drop later today. Spoilers, there's a content drop. But you were expecting it, let's be honest, let's be real. It would be weird if we didn't drop something in between events at this point, because we've been extremely consistent about that. At least giving something in between events. So, there's gonna be something. I'm just not gonna say what yet, but wait for it, patience. It will be exciting. Oh, I've got Darjeeling today, by the way. As well as a more rare sighting here, but I also have a latte of my own making in a mason jar. Sweetened with agave and using 2% milk, because that's what I like. A quick check-in on the old Idle Champions account. So we're playing the new account today, just like we did yesterday. And I'm thinking that we might just focus on playing the new account, honestly. I've been having more fun with this than my main account, than my old account. It's really fun to start over, especially starting so powerfully starting over, and just seeing how fast I can crush the world as I go. My progress right now is that I am on the race to Azaka! Because if I can unlock Azaka in time for my afternoon show today, then that will be Azaka in 1 week from the start of the account. Today marks the 7th day that I've been playing this game, this account, but we haven't actually reached the exact 7-day mark yet. That's later this afternoon, so I have time. Let me show you how far I've got left to go. So I've been working through Tomb of Annihilation. And here's Azaka's Procession Part 1, which must be completed for Azaka's Procession Part 2 to even appear. Azaka's Procession Part 2 is the adventure that I need to actually complete in order to unlock Azaka. So to get that, I have to do this one first. And to do this one, I must have completed 30 Tomb of Annihilation adventures or variants. I currently have 23 completed, and I'm working on 24 right now. The Death Curse. Whittle is definitely helping to make things go faster, as well as having 3 familiars. So, wish me luck. I'm gonna try. I might have to throw on some speed potions. I have very few, but it's something. If I just want to get Azaka done in, under a week, then I might have to throw on some speed potions just to get it done. By the way, we have no leftover questions today, so we're going to be jumping right into the new stuff. If you have questions for me, please post them in the Twitch chat specifically. If you're watching on YouTube, hi! If you're watching on Steam, sup! If you're watching on Twitch, good! Because on Twitch only is where we are actually catching questions. So if you have a question for me and you're on one of those other platforms, please jump over to Twitch so you can post questions so that the moderator, Jordan, who's helped me out today, moderating, producing, and catching questions for the show, can do exactly that. Do her job. And catch questions for me. She does her job, I do mine. which is actually answering those questions and showing off stuff. We already have a couple of questions and comments coming in. And for that matter, just nice comments, too. Especially when things are slow, like, moderators will tend to catch comments as well, especially if they're, like, nice and wholesome. So, here comes a wholesome comment to start things off, and thank you for this, by the way. Both the person posting it and Jordan for catching it. Grakata Grakata. It's a fun name to say out loud. I like your streams, Mars, because they're highly technical. Help me understand the game mechanics better. Started playing last month. Now, that's interesting. First of all, hey, welcome to Idle Champions. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I hope that you are enjoying the game, and that you continue to be a part of our community, and then hope to see you around some more. I'm glad that it's helpful for you. I think you're the first person to ever describe my show, at least in a place that I've seen it being described, as being highly technical. I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually describe it as highly technical before. Thanks! I'm glad that it's helping you. I didn't realize that I was being very technical. I know I have a tendency to. I'm like equal parts math-brained and language-brained, I guess. Math and writing were my best subjects in school growing up. So I tend to be very wordy, but I know that I can get carried away with numbers if I let myself. Hello, Scott Armstrong on YouTube. You know, I am having a pretty good week so far. Yeah, thank you very much. It is pretty good, actually. You know what, I'll say this. It's an extremely productive week for me so far. Yeah. I think last week and this week, like this half of the week so far, is like the most productive grouping of like 10 days, I guess, that I've had at Codenames so far. I feel like I've been extremely productive last week and this week. Hello, PJ McMurray on YouTube as well. Remember, if you have questions, just make sure to pop them over into Twitch chat. If you post questions like on YouTube, I can see it, but I might not catch it because our moderators aren't actually catching questions from the YouTube chat. But I might just see it in real time and catch it because of that. So, you know, best chance is to go to Twitch chat. Next question, Evil Turnip. The formation on screen now is the one that got you to Area 600? No. This one is. With some moving things around, like, probably need to do this. Because I need to make sure that I fulfill all of my Shaka puzzles as much as I can. So I got lucky with that one. I can do that. That's good. Is that all 5? Do we have all one? Hold on. No, Tiefling. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. Yeah, I should be able to do stage 600 with this. I'm not going to, because this is a variant, and I would rather do that in a free play. But, yes, if I just used this, I'd be able to reach 600, at least, because I have proven that to myself already. 602 with this team. And that was with a lot less favor than I have now. So, yeah, if you have these champions, feel free to copy this formation. I do have, admittedly, some very strong gear on a couple of champions that I'm using, but definitely not all of them. Like, my DPS for this team is Ashara, and my Ashara has average item levels 8. Not even a single epic on this bird yet. So, Ashara is still very strong, despite that. I do have slot 3 and 4 epic and shiny on Averin, which is huge, honestly. That's enormous. That's probably where the majority of my power is coming from, is my Averin. Averin is incredibly, perhaps even unfairly powerful. So, your mileage may vary, but if you want to try to copy what I'm doing here, I hope that it serves you well and that you enjoy it. Nyfear, is Evelyn a good tank to use instead of Naeli? Yes. She's not often regarded among the, like, top tanks in the game. Probably, like, the more highly regarded tanks in the game would be Mountain Grama, Tyrell in Wild Shape, Ayla, Briv, Nova. Honestly, I feel like Celise should be used more often than she is. I feel like she's underappreciated. She's pretty good. Just a second. I'm gonna help out Jordan on the back end here. Okay, the questions document itself is going berserk right now. There's something really weird happening. I think we've got it sorted out now, but that was downright bizarre. Okay. Alright. Anyway. What we might have to do later, Jordan, is we might have to actually retire this question document and make a new one, because when a Google Doc becomes too large, weird bad things can start happening. And this Google Doc is currently up to, say it with me everyone, 358 pages of just me answering questions. 358 pages. And we've only started keeping track of all of this since, like, episode 80. So, there's, like, 80 episodes of questions that aren't even archived. Fun. Right. Okay, getting back to it, then. Fibulator777. Did you use all of your leaves for the events during those 7 days, or focus only on Spring Uzaka? Actually, I did. I completed the event. 100%. I unlocked all 3 of the characters. So I got Krydle. I got... Oh, Shaka's right here. I got Shaka. I had really good luck on Shaka, too. And I got Dungeon Master. I got them all up to at least all blue. I got 1 epic on Dungeon Master for all champion damage. Oh, well, I guess Krydle's not all blue yet. Electro Test will fix that. I've got an epic on ultimate cooldown for Krydle. Not really. Not a big deal. But I've got 3 epics for Shaka. All champion damage, Celestial Puzzle, and Feast or Famine. So my Shaka is doing nice. I've got a pretty good Shaka, actually. And yeah, I got all of the variants done, and I reached E10 favor as well. So, see? It was my very first event, but, and usually when I start a fresh account, no, I can say consistently the first event is always the hardest one on a brand new account. But, despite that, I was still able to get everything done on E10 favor. The free play, achievements and everything. I think I still need to do Dungeon Master's personal achievement. I got Krydle's, I think, and I got Shaka's definitely, but I don't have enough champions to do Dungeon Master's achievement yet. It's a riddle. I won't spoil it, but basically it is impossible for me to get Dungeon Master's achievement at the moment. I need to collect more champions first. Alright. Reds fan, question marks. Did you know that Dark Sun will be making a cameo in Spelljammers with a couple of races? From the rumor and an article that I read, that is Dark Sun might come out next year. I mean, never say never, but I doubt it. If we actually get stuff from Dark Sun in the Spelljammer books, then sweet. That might be just how Dark Sun survives into 5th edition. There would be... if Dark Sun was, like, wholesale ported over to 5th edition with no changes, there would be issues. There would be problems with certain ways that things are presented in that campaign setting. So... at the very least, just might be nice of having some stuff from it. Some of the good stuff from it, because there is good stuff from it. It'd be nice to have some stuff from it that is good, presented through other means, like Spelljammer. That way a little piece of it survives. Foolish Genius, question. Daily reminder for patch notes, as well as, what is your Mars hype score for this content drop? Okay, so, patch notes, nothing to talk about. Nothing in patch notes here since May 4th, so an entire week ago. Nothing to mention. Good reminder, though, Foolish Genius, thank you. Mars hype score for the content drop this afternoon. Okay, without naming names, I think I can summarize how hype I am for this afternoon show. In that, other people within Codename messaged me to ask me if I'm going to be going over the new content so that they can be in attendance to watch me going over the new content. Which is a rare thing. It does not happen every time. So, it's not just that I'm hype, but that other people in the company are hype for me being hype about the content that's coming today. So I'd say it's gonna be pretty good. Stay tuned. You're free to theorize what you think it might be. I will neither confirm nor deny. That's your little teaser, okay? Several people are excited. Cloudy May. What would you recommend to someone who has a really tough time with making formations? I'm autistic and I find it very confusing. Mostly just using whatever I can and hoping it works out. Okay. I understand. There's 100 champions in the game, 100 characters. They all work differently, and they all work with or against each other. So it's a lot. It can definitely feel overwhelming to people. You know, we're all different. All our brains work different ways, so... Like, I'm very much a hands-on learner. Like, people learn different ways, you know? Some people learn better with text or visuals or hands-on. Brains are different. And if this is something that you struggle with, but you still want to play the game, recommendation... Hang out on the Discord. Sincerely, hang out on the Discord, specifically in the Formations channel on the Discord. Because if formation design is something that you really struggle with, just copy what other people are doing. Just collect the champions that you see other people using and set them up in the arrangements that you see other people using and just see how it goes. That way, you don't actually have to remember exactly how they work. You know, like, copy other people's homework, basically. And then, over time, if you get to the point where you're starting to feel less overwhelmed, then maybe you can start reading up on the characters that you're using in the formation and learning how they operate. If you don't feel overwhelmed by things, then I encourage you to experiment and learn things on your own. But if it is overwhelming for you, then just copy people. And then over time, learn the characters. I hope that helps. Jacoby, question, what character is singing and the subject of Won't You Be My Friend? That would be Penelope, who I don't have, but she is in the shop, so I can show her off in the shop at least. Show filters. Slot 12, please. Hello, Penelope. So this is Penelope. She's adorable. Yep. Causes enemies she hits but doesn't kill to take additional damage for 30 seconds. Whenever the formation is under attack, Penelope dons her Chwinga mask and buffs the formation based on the champions that are adjacent to her. I love that she has a skipping animation instead of a walking animation. She wants to be everybody's friend, and I mean everybody. No matter how powerful or evil. Susagusa Beast. 9K. That was difficult to do. Wait a second, is that like That's not a Dragon Ball reference, is it? Your name? Because when I see, like, a bunch of S's and G's together like that, my first thought is, like, Super Saiyan Goku or Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan... Anyway. And then you have 9K in there, so that feels like an over 9,000 reference. Anyway, Susagusa Beast 9K. Have you ever done a clicker-only challenge? It is Dragon Ball reference. Ha! Nailed it. Nice. Got it. Cool. I have not done a clicker-only challenge, because that sounds, if I'm being honest, incredibly boring. I love challenges, but they've got to have some meat on the bone for me. They've got to be fun, and that does not sound fun. You would not be able to get super far doing clicks only, because as soon as you come up against an armored boss, you're done. You're not going to be able to handle that. Do I have any other 175s to do? I do! Do I even have enough champions to really run this? Let's find out. Oh yeah. No, this is fine. I can use almost my full normal formation here. Sweet. Not a Shara, but that's okay. I'll just use Jarlaxle instead. Set him up as my DPS. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to work. Maybe, if I'm lucky, I can even finish collecting all blue for my evergreens on the show today. That would be nice. Got enough gems to get a gold chest. Gonna wait for... There we go. I've noticed that when I'm in my shop in the middle of a stage, when I go back to the stage, the game will lag. And enemies will just not spawn for several seconds. Nice! Love seeing that. But if I do it during a stage transition, then there is no delay. And I guess opening chest too. I started opening the chest. See, that's the delay I'm talking about. I started opening the chest right at the start of the stage. I should have waited for another stage transition. Ah, well. Okay. Back to it. Reds fan. Question, Mars, did you know... Wait, I already saw that one. You posted that earlier. You only have to post something once. Oh, that was when the dock messed up. Okay. No worries then, Reds fan. That was on our end. Namos129 question. Just unlocked Trials of Mount Tiamat. What's important to keep in mind for this content? It gets rough. So, with Trials of Mount Tiamat... The Trials of Mount Tiamat! I've got the shirt for it. Oh, my lighting is weird because it's overcast. Let me turn on my key lights here. That should help. Ugh. With the Trials of Mount Tiamat game mode, asynchronous multiplayer game mode, you're going to have to choose an assault front champion to send out against Tiamat, and then that champion is locked. You cannot use them for anything until the trial is complete, whether you win or lose. So, like, worst case scenario, 6 full days. It's a long time to give up a champion, so make sure whoever you choose, you're not going to miss them. I like the way that Zawan has put this. For trials, your worst formation might need to be what you have to use. Yeah. Because there are restrictions. Every day of your trial, there is a new restriction added to your play of that trial. And it is also asking you to go even further than the day before. So you're under constant pressure. The restrictions begin on day 1. So there's always at least one restriction. And the restrictions can be something as simple as just like, you can only use champions with a ability score above some number 10 or whatever, I don't know, 13, whatever. So even just that is going to restrict your champion pool. And because it's different restrictions every time, like you can't predict what your restrictions are going to be. So you need to basically come up with a few different possible formations for you to run for Trials of Mount Tiamat, so that you can pivot to using any of those, depending on what those restrictions are that you face. And so, you need to continue collecting champions if you do not have them all yet, because there's always going to be a need for more champions. Always. No, I don't want Delna. Okay, I'll take Dungeon Master. Special guest star? Yes, I think I would like Hitch. Get Hitch in here. I just want to see what would happen. Okay. If I get Hitch in here, yeah, over category, whatever. Then Jarlaxle will have even more gold fine now. Huzzah! Okay. Legendary Dragon 75 question. Hey Mars, sometimes I'm missing gear on Evergreen and some event champions. Will the missing gear eventually pop out of a chest? Yes and no, depends. So you won't be able to get lower, you won't be able to get like gear that you're missing for an ultimate cooldown slot if it's reached item level cap. None of my characters on this account are anywhere close to item level cap, so I can't really show that off as an example. But it would be like, if it's not golden or shiny, if it's just an epic, it'd be like level 512. Once an item in that slot is like reached level cap, then you're not going to find the lower tier versions of it anymore. I think you would still find the higher tier version if you somehow got it all, I guess through Blacksmithing Contracts, if you somehow got it all the way up to maximum level before reaching epic quality, then I think you could still find a higher quality version of it to upgrade it. But you will not find the lower tier versions. Outside of that one very specific case, you should be able to find everything else that you're missing. Eventually. Dracon 1972. Good morning, Mars. Good morning, Dracon said 1972. I was wondering that if you get Azaka unlocked before your afternoon show, will you show how to use her? I have her unlocked, but not know how to use her. Yeah, absolutely. This afternoon, I will be exclusively playing my main account, my old account on Steam, the one that's got, like, everything. So, if I unlock Azaka today, I will show you how to use her tomorrow for the Thursday morning show. Alright? Cool? Cool. I'd be happy to. Gamer Ruck on YouTube says, Marvelous live chat. Like, marvelous. Marvelous. That's pretty good. I like that. Thank you. Camero85, question. Mars, would you recommend to dismantle Ashara even if you still plan on using her? I feel like I can get her back up pretty easy and use the item levels of the shinies on event champions more. Honestly, yes. Yeah, exactly. Because, like, it's so much easier to put... I almost went into, like, a Linkin Park song, I think. It's so much easier. So how's that ADHD going, Mars? I really need to talk to somebody about it. Anyway, I think that was Linkin Park? Now I'm not sure. It's so much easier to get item levels on Evergreen Champions than it is on Event Champions. I need to just clip that and send that to my doctor. God. Yeah, it's so much easier to get item levels on Evergreen Champions than it is on Event Champions. So... yeah, if you want to be able to just freely shift a whole bunch of item levels over to an event champion, then yeah, power up your Ashara before this dismantle thing happens. And then when the dismantle thing happens, you'll be able to pull all of that off and then move those item levels over to somebody else. Oh, that was Linkin Park! Yes! Thank you, Jordan. Thank you. I feel better now. So I might even do it for this account, honestly. Even though my Ashara is still, like, very weak, it would still be nice just to have some more item levels to move around to somebody else. And then I'd be able to just easily get her back up and running again, because, again, I have barely started this account, so... Prayer Wind, I'm struggling to gear my guys. Other than being lucky to catch your streams, I'm looking for suggestions on how to gear up. Oh! Alright, yeah, Prayer Wind. Okay, so, for one thing, you're lucky enough to catch my streams? Awesome! That means you're getting the code, I assume. But do you know... many people do, but I am assuming that not every single person that plays this game knows. Do you know my show is not the only one that has a chest code? All of our shows have chest codes. And for that matter, any of our, like, partnered content creators or, like, other shows that we're supporting, like, whether they're podcast or Twitch streams on other channels, we also give out codes for those, too. Or, yeah, podcast and live plays and stuff like that. So... there's a lot of these chest codes that go out every week. I think it's something around 70 of them. It's a lot. But that might be about 70 between each event and not per week. I'm gonna have to recount. But anyway, we give out a ton of chest codes. Each of these chest codes will give you an Electrum chest. Sometimes, rarely, they'll give you something else. Most of the time it's an Electrum chest, but Electrum chests are great. Because although they only give you like one piece of gear, it can be a piece of gear that goes for any champion, including event champions, which is very meaningful in the long run when you've opened up like hundreds and hundreds and thousands of these things. Gearing up your evergreen champions is going to be mainly through silver and gold chests. I don't have any currently, but... these silver and gold chests. In addition to being able to get these for gems, like we're seeing right now, silver chest for 50 gems, gold chest for 500 gems, they can also drop from bosses. Silver chests have a greater chance of dropping than a gold chest. See, there's that lag for having the shop open. That's weird. I don't like that. I don't like that lag. Gearing up your event champions outside of Electrum chests, there's also getting the event champion-specific chests from their own events, or from doing time gates for them. There's a free time gate opening this weekend in 2 days, 4 hours, and 24 minutes. Newsletter chests will also give you gear for the champions that weekend buff is for. Patron chests can give you gear for any of the champions that qualify for that patron. I think that's about it. So as far as getting gear itself, then there's also Blacksmithing Contracts, which can be used to just give you item levels for the champion that you choose. So if you're having a really hard time gearing up a particular champion that you really love, you can always just use your Blacksmithing Contracts on them. I would strongly recommend that you only use Blacksmithing Contracts on event champions, like Orkira, Krydle, Whittle, Evelyn, Dungeon Master, Catti-Brie, Ayla, Shaka, Strix, Averin, and not on evergreen champions like Brunor, Celeste, Naeli, Jarlaxle, Calliope, Ashara, Minsk, Delana, Hitch, Makos, Tyrell, Jamila, Archon. Because those champions, those evergreen champions, it's a lot easier to get gear on from those regular silver and gold chests because they are plentiful. You'll be getting a lot more of those than you will chests for your event champions. So item levels will eventually be ridiculously higher than your event champions are, unless you keep your event champions going with your Blacksmithing Contracts. Speaking of which, as far as my own progression goes, I'm close to Mert. I'm at 1532, that's 1,532 total loot levels. I know it's really hard to see that dark red text. We should make that brighter, put a different background behind it or something. It's really hard to see. But I need 2,000 total loot levels to unlock Briv. I have 1,532 total currently. I have a little over 300 item levels worth of Blacksmithing Contracts. So, depending on how well today goes, how aggressively I can play and get stuff done, and open up some chests, and how my luck goes from opening up those chests, I might also be able to unlock Mert today. At the very least, I'm betting I'll be able to unlock Mert by the end of tomorrow. I've already gone up like 100 item levels from yesterday, so it's going well. Starfish, can anyone talk about the rumors of new cores? I've been out of it for a bit. I have not heard rumors of new... Are there rumors of new cores going around? I haven't heard of rumors. I wonder if that's something Justin and Dave have been talking about on Dev Insights. I wouldn't be surprised. Because, like, the fact that we only have 3 is kind of weird. Especially because, like, 2 you get from unlocks and 1 you get from gems. It'd be cool if there are others that you could get, like, from other things. Like, maybe even from patron shops or something. Yeah, I haven't heard any rumors. I haven't seen any talk about rumors. But I would be very interested. I think that'd be very exciting if we got more cores. More cores! Hey, this is fun. I remember probably a few months ago now, I was modding for Developer Insights, and people started just throwing out name suggestions for cores. Do you guys have any suggestions? That was just a really fun time. Like, somebody said hardcore. Like, that's really funny. Or, molten core. There were like 24 good suggestions. Oh, do we have a hype train right now? What? What? Oh my gosh. I feel like we get a lot of hype trains on this show in particular, but maybe that's also because I do this show 5 times a week. So I have, like, a greater chance of a hype train than any of our other shows. Maybe it's an unfair advantage, and I shouldn't compare. Anyway, hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Your support goes toward the company, of course, but it sure does make me look good. So thank you. Thank you. Armored Core? Those are pretty good games. That's a really funny suggestion, Lousy Bomb. Soft Core, Apple Core, Candy Coated Core. That's really fun. I needed that laugh. I appreciate that. I'm gonna be laughing about Armored Core all day. That's fantastic. Because it'd be something that, like, we could get away with, you know? Like, it is a sly little reference to another cool gaming series. But it also just makes sense within the context of the fantasy scope of and theming of this video game itself. Armored Core is very funny. Oh, hey, Smuggle Beera, I see you in chat. I started the Trials group. Trials is underway. I noticed you were in it, so just wanted to mention that. Alright, bad questions. We have a new chatter, a Ziegler! Question. When is the time to start purchasing feats with gems? I have Core and Evergreen to Epic, and I am well into Patrons, and only missing 3 champions. My friend, now is the time! Now is the time to start buying some feats. Don't go wild and purchase every single feat that you can find. Start by, like, prioritizing. Start by picking up any gem feats that increase ability scores such that that champion then qualifies for a patron that they did not previously qualify for. So make that your initial focus, make that priority 1. Priority 2, pick up feats that enhance the formation abilities of champions that you use most often. So, like, if you're using Averin a lot, then yeah, you should maybe get Two-Headed Coin for Mirror Image 80% and Paired Vision for Seeing Double 80%, because those are his best feats. That's huge. If you're using Orkira a lot, then you should probably get Lesser Restoration 40%, Emergency Heals, Elemental Fire 80%, Avatar of Destruction. The other good ones for her you have to get from Gold Chest, but those are definitely also good ones that you get for gems. Oh, the hype train reached level 5? What? Y'all. Really? Thank you. That is an even more rare event. That's fantastic. Thank you. Seriously. I needed that. Like, it's been stressful. The past couple of weeks have been really stressful, like with the Ashara changes and, you know, people being upset about that. I'm not used to dealing with negativity. But I try to meet that with positivity as much as I can, while being realistic, you know? Like, I'm a player like y'all. Of course I'm upset about the Ashara thing. But I'm also not going to let it keep me down. I'm just going to pivot and do something else, because that's what I've always done, and it's what I'll always continue to do. Anyway. Thank you. Sincerely. I needed that little pick-me-up. Appreciate that. It makes me feel appreciated. Another new chatter is Hidden Skiller. How about an only tank and support challenge? Ooh. Now that would be interesting. It would depend on how we defined that challenge. For example, is the challenge defined by, you can only use champions that have the tank role and or the support role? Or is it defined as, you can only use champions that do not have the DPS, healing, gold, and speed roles? Because the first one is interesting and doable. The second one is absolute torment. The second one, you would have extremely few options. Like, you wouldn't have Archon, because Archon is DPS and tanking. Like, in the first category, you would have Archon, because he is a tank. But in the second category, in the second definition of, you would not be able to use him because he is part DPS. It depends on how we define that. But that could be an interesting challenge. I don't hate that. Foolish Genius. Question, how has Dungeon Master changed your experience with early game variants? So far, not much. Because in these very early days of playing a new game, I focus on doing variants that don't actually restrict my champion choices, or do so just barely. Like this one. Pros and cons. Only champions with a constitution score of 13 or higher may be used. This is barely affecting me. I'm using almost my entire normal team here. I lost to Shara, so cool, I just put in Dungeon Master. And then Dungeon Master Special Guest Star let me put in Hitch. So with the exception of basically using Jarlaxle as my DPS instead of Ashara, I'm pretty much using the exact same formation that I would have been using. So this one's fine. And yeah, I try to avoid early days. I try to avoid, because look how many champions I have. That's it. I've got 23 champions total. That's not even 1/4 of all the champions that are in the game. So yeah, I am avoiding those variants that have a heavy restriction on my champion options. Like, even once I have Mert ready to go, I'm not really gonna jump in immediately because I assume I'm gonna have a really hard time. I can do some free plays, get some patron currency, sure. Experiment with my formation design, but I imagine that I'm gonna have a really tough time. With the exception that I do have Dungeon Master. Dungeon Master might, yeah, no, that's probably it. If it weren't for having Dungeon Master, even when I unlock Mert, I would have probably just avoided him until I collected more champions. But because of the fact that I have Dungeon Master, that's a lot of extra power, just being able to throw somebody else in there. Yeah. Yeah, I think I will probably be jumping into Mert, like, as soon as possible. So, to actually answer your question, Foolish Genius, Dungeon Master really hasn't changed my experience very much so far. But he is certainly going to. I just haven't really done many variants that prevent champion options yet. Only just a couple of them, really. But soon it will be much more impactful. How much gold fine am I getting out of Dungeon Master? I just saw somebody ask. 1,012% increase. And Jarlaxle... Oh, let me actually level up people first. Okay, so still 1,012. Still 1,012% increase. And Jarlaxle is giving me a 1,953% increase. So together, between the two of them, even though I have 8.40 E22 to Calivor's favor, I actually have a 5.70 E24% gold find. So, yeah, pretty good, honestly, even though it's very early and they're still very low level. It's like an E2 upgrade for gold find. Nice. Smugglebeera, good day to you. Good day. So what champion took you the longest to get? Also, what synergy did you misunderstand and used incorrectly the longest? Oh, boy. Oh, God. I could probably write an entire book about all the mistakes that I've made in this game and my misunderstandings of champions. I still have misunderstandings, and that's never going to stop. That's never going to stop. Because I'm human, and none of us are perfect. We forget things. We make wrong assumptions. We trust prior knowledge and fail to notice new changes. Mistakes will always happen, and we will always be learning. That's part of the beauty of the human experience. That being said, I can probably list some things, champions that took me a long time to really, to really understand. Sure. Anyone who's been around long enough might be able to remember when Archon got reworked and he was introduced to his usurped power game mechanic. And that turned everything up on its head, and it hurt my brain for a while. Yeah, I don't think it took me, a super long time to get Archon, but it was a struggle. That's more for quality of the hard time that I had, more so than the quantity of the hard time that I had. You know what? One that I do find confusing that ties in with that, and that I still struggle with, is Artemis with Archon. Artemis observing with Archon usurping. Remembering, what order things go in, what does get usurped, what does get observed, what doesn't get usurped, what doesn't get observed, what does get usurped but not observed, what doesn't get usurped but does get observed. That hurts. That is difficult. I feel like I just need, an exhaustive list of all the different combinations and just refer to that. Just cross-reference a spreadsheet or something. Yeah. Let's see. Champions that I've just used incorrectly for a long time. There's a lot of champions to think about. Is there anyone in particular from this list that I've had problems with? You know what? Here's one. I'm honestly still not sure which specialization I should be using most of the time for Hitch. If I'm being totally honest, I'm really not sure. Whether I should go extra daggers or charismatic. Half the time I go one, half the time I go the other, and it seems to be about the same result. I haven't really struggled with understanding any of the rest of these. Oh, I got a gold chest. Yay! Is that Archon done? Nice. How many is that left now? 1, 2... Just 2. Just 2 more greens to replace. And then that will be done. Nice. I'm almost at least full blue on all my evergreens. It's been 1 week since I started this account. Good question, Smuggle Beer. Thank you. Reaver, what character would you like to see in their current form someone tried to break or prove their worth? Well, I feel like I'm obligated to mention Celise, just because earlier in the show I made a comment about, I think Celise is underappreciated. So, I want to see people using Celise more. I want people to put Celise through her paces and really see, what she brings to the table right now. And, let's see. This would be so much easier to do if I could see the full list of champions. Right, let's go look at time gates. This'll help. This won't show me all the other evergreens, but You know what, Narak? I constantly feel like there is something more that could be done with Narak that we just haven't stumbled upon yet. His Githzerai focus is unique. There's gotta be something there. Just like how you can use it to boost Gosric's Armor Ablation or Whittle's Hurry Up Now to obscene levels. There's gotta be something weird you can do with Narak. Yeah, somebody play around with Narak and try to break him. See what you can do with that. Okay. I saw Belle screaming about Delana. Yeah. One of these days, Delana will have her day in the sun. Oh, somebody mentioned Kreidel was a champion that I struggled with. Apparently I did, and didn't realize it. For 2 years, I was using Kreidel incorrectly. I didn't realize that he was actually super strong, secretly, for 2 full years. Ridiculous. That's gonna go down in history for idle champions. Let's see, anyone else I feel like people should really be testing more? I've heard a few people sing the praises of Jaheira DPS. I'd like to see more of that. More interested in the Narak thing, though. Anybody else here? No, I guess that's it. Yeah, let's just say Celise and who's the third one I said? Jaheira. Yeah, Celise, Jaheira, and Narak. I want to see some people using those. Like, I want one of those to be the next one that people find is, like, actually super broken if you do this one weird trick. Like the Kreidel thing. That'd be cool. It'd be cool to give them a shot. Legendary Dragon, can someone tell me what Blacksmith does for the champions? Does it make them stronger? Yes. So what it does, your Blacksmithing Contracts increase the item level of one random piece of gear for the champion that you select. So, if I took this small Blacksmithing Contract, grant 2 levels to a random piece of loot owned by the selected champion, I click on Go, and then I choose a champion. Let's go with Whittle. I am using her a lot. Hopefully this lands on slot 4, but we'll see. Now I click on Level Up. Almost. I thought it was going to go there. Alright, so it just gave +2 levels to the Cloak of Many Pockets. And so if you're watching closely there, you would have seen the percentage that this is giving a bonus for went up a little bit. If I do another one, watch. Let's see where this lands. Okay, 172.8 to 174% increase. So that's what they do. They give increased item levels. Oh yeah, Belle, that's a great point. Yeah, Jaheira is coming up in the very next event, so I better see some people using Jaheira. Yeah, Jaheira and Mehen are coming up in the next event. Great Mojang March. So if you are feeling like to rise to my call, my challenge of testing out a champion to see what kind of things you could do with them, see if they might be busted in some way that we just previously hadn't been trying. Jaheira. I feel like there's something with Jaheira. Call it a gut feeling, I guess. She's coming up next, so don't miss it. Lou is here. Question, what is the item level cap? So for most items, it's like so ridiculously astronomically high that you're never actually going to reach it playing the game normally. So don't even worry about it. For ultimate cooldown items, slot 6 for most champions, it is like low 500s. And is then even lower if you get it shiny or golden. Which also ends up being a good thing, because if you reach level cap on an item, then you'll stop finding that item in chests, which thins the pool of items that you could get from chests, so you're gonna get, like, item levels on one fewer item in the pool, and thus more item levels on everything else. better for you in the long run. A Ziegler, is there a place to see item level caps for gear? No, there is not. It's just something that you either know or you don't. You learn from somebody else who already knows it. Yeah, there is no indication that you have reached level cap for something. But for, like, seriously, pretty much everything else, like, yeah, all champion damage, yeah, Calliope, Bardic Inspiration, ultimate attack damage, any of the ones like that, there's not a cap that is, like, reasonably within reach for a normal player to ever get to. I think one person, once upon a time on Discord, managed to reach level cap for Delana? I think they chose Delana just as a joke. And it was, like, in the millions, tens of millions, just huge. Higher than I've achieved playing pretty regularly on my main account in 5 years. Like, the only way that you're ever going to actually get to that point is if you are, like, scripting 24/7. So, yeah, most players are not going to experience that. I wouldn't worry about it. Xanthfan asked, Dismantle thing? Oh, yeah, this is from a while ago. Sorry, I'm behind on the questions, I guess. So, earlier I mentioned Dismantle. That is a system that was previewed on Developer Insights last week with Dave and Justin. So, following the changes to Ashara and the community feedback that we got about that, the developers decided to put out a Dismantle System, which will give players the ability to basically call back their investment from a given champion when we have nerfed that champion. When we've done some kind of a balance change that we feel is significant enough to warrant activating this feature, then this Dismantle feature will become available for some period of time. And during that period of time, when you've got the champion open, there'll be like a button over here, and then you just like, boop, click on that. There'll be confirmation boxes, and you go, boop, boop, click on stuff. And it tells you like exactly what you're going to get back, which would be like Blacksmithing Contracts and Potions of Polish and stuff like that. So basically whatever you've invested into that champion, you get back, and then you can put it on other things. Now, there has been work internally, even as recent as yesterday. I actually got to test out a developer build for like the second time ever. I got to test out a developer build yesterday to see how it works. I was trying to poke holes in it and see, like, okay, how can I break this? Because if we can figure out how things break before it's released, then we can fix those things before they even become problems. So, yeah. That is going well. Now, obviously, I can't, like, go into detail about how it works, because it's not ready to see light yet. But it's got to be pretty soon that's coming out. If it's gotten to the point where I'm allowed to test it, then it's probably pretty soon. Starfish. Has the meta shifted off of Ashara to whom? Kind of. So the thing is that Ashara isn't any less powerful. Her damage numbers haven't gone down. It's just that she's harder to set up now because she requires 4 members of each bond to get the bond bonus for herself instead of 3. So you have less diversity in Ashara DPS formation design, which really means that Ashara is harder to set up specifically in patrons, because you just have fewer champions to work with, so you have fewer choices. It's just really, it's harder to get her working correctly in patrons than it was before. For regular, like, free plays, deep push free plays in normal campaigns or whatever, like, she's still just as strong. That's why she's my main DPS on this new account. She's still absurdly powerful. Just harder to set up. So, it's more like, yes, the meta has shifted off of Ashara for patrons and probably more so on other champions. but also, like, no, the meta hasn't really shifted off of Ashara for free plays. It kind of feels like we're in this transition period of going from, like, some sort of an agreed-upon super meta, where, yes, this one DPS is great for everything. Ashara was never able to use for Mert anyway, so there's that. 2, maybe there's going to be different evolving metas for each different facet of the game. Like, oh, what's the popular free play meta champions? What's the popular Mert meta or Vajra meta, etc. It's like Dungeon Master is going to be a big part of that. Dungeon Master is not great if you're just playing a regular adventure or a free play. Dungeon Master is fantastic if you are playing a variant that restricts champion choices, especially patron variants. There's a huge division there in his overall usefulness. And I'm hoping that we're going to get more of that as we move forward. Because I think that could be a much more interesting state of the game and the community around it, is if, like, it's not like, oh, just get Zorbu for everything. Which is funny, because I'm planning on using Frida DPS on my old account. Because I'll be able to use her for everything when that man's specialization goes live. That's just to simplify things. But I think it would be healthier for the state of the game overall if we end up shifting into, like, what's popular for Mert versus what's popular for Vajra, Strahd, Zerial, any other patrons that we might get in the future, versus what's popular for any given free play, or even specific campaigns for that matter. Like, Grand Tour meta might look different than Tomb of Annihilation meta, or Icewind Dale meta, or something. I think that could be a much more interesting state if we can reach that. But it's going to be an ugly process getting to that point, right? Change is good. Alright, that one's done. Moving on! Do I have any other 175s or 150s I can do? Or is now 200 the lowest for me? 225, 225, 225. Yeah, so it looks like I might need to do 200s now. Okay. Or do I have 175s over here? Nope, those are 225s. Okay, 200s then. Ugh. Okay, that's fine. This one, things are just more expensive. I can live with things being more expensive. Okay, and level you up first. And now, level up everybody. Okay. Potpourri. Moonbeam. Moonbeam! College of Valor. Oath of Vengeance. Leah the Brigandareth. I'll take Charismatic this time, sure. Tailfeather. In the Zone. More levels. I'm getting closer. One step at a time, one adventure at a time. Getting there. The Azaka story. How close are we now? 25 complete out of the 30 required. Woo! Okay, it's gonna be tight, but I think I can do it. Ugh. I really might have to start using speed potions. Ugh. It's gonna be, at the very least, by the end of day 7, I'm going to have Azaka. By the end of day 7, I will have Azaka. At the very least. Even if it's not in time for the afternoon show today. How do I level all of them so fast? Use the F1, F2, F3, etc. keys on your keyboard. You can hold them all down if you position your hands correctly. Oh lord, he coming. Yeah. Thanks for the laugh, Foolish. Brian Kosasek, is there a new character drop today? How to answer that? If there is a new Evergreen character releasing today, I can't say anything about that. But I can at least tell you that there is not an event coming today, and events are how we usually release characters. The next event will be 1 week from today. Read into my answer however much or however little you like. J-Mick Unyielding. Question, while I do know how to use her, could you briefly go over my good buddy Jaheira? It'll be nice event prep, and I can always use some fresh formation inspiration. Thanks, friend. No. I'm sorry. I'm not playing on the correct account to do that. I don't want to close my game and switch Steam accounts. It would take, like, at least a few minutes to do that. Because you know the loading time. And on my much larger old Steam account, my main account, it takes a lot longer to load in and open the game than it does for this one. So, I will politely decline. But perhaps I can go over Jaheira for the afternoon show, if you ask this afternoon. Because I will be playing on my main account for that. I'm sorry, Jamick. I don't have her. I would love to have Jaheira right now, but I don't. I don't have any swaps for slot 4. Pork Belly, question, how many items drop from a patron chest? Is it just 5 or some more? It's 5. Yep. You get 5 things from a patron chest, just like from a regular gold chest. Smugglebeer, question, so how do you determine when and where, obviously not Evergreen, to use Blacksmithing Contracts? I've only used them when I wanted to unlock Mert, the rest I'm just sitting in them. I mean, it depends. Like, people have different philosophies to follow for how to go about investing. I completely forgot about both of my drinks here. I've been talking so much. Forgot to even take sips of my drinks for like an hour. Wow. I suggest, obviously, yes, you focus on event champions, not evergreen champions. And I suggest that you focus on those event champions that you find yourself using more often than all of the others. So if you're using Orkira, like, everywhere, if you're using Shaka in all your formations, like, you love Ayla, use her everywhere. Especially champions that you use in different types of formations. Like, on my main account, I use Omen for my Azaka pushing formations, and also for my Azaka farming. So he's a really good candidate for my Blacksmithing Contracts, because I'm almost always using him. For that matter, I put him in my speed teams, too. He's probably my most used champion at the moment on my main account, just because he's in speed, deep pushing, and Azaka farming formations for me, which are the 3 main things that I play. So, focus on... Yeah, focus on champions that you use just a lot of, more so than others. Event champions only. If you want to just copy what I do, not on this account, obviously, because I just started, but on my main account, I started by just blacksmithing every event champion to average item level 50. And then once that was done, I did it again to get all of them to average item level 100. And now I'm doing it again. I'm working on getting them all to 200. And I'm just going to keep doing that process over time. Just keep raising up that ceiling and working on it again. And it takes longer each time, of course, because more champions get released during that time. But that approach has served me well, because then, no matter what changes might happen to any champions, I'm always ready and able to pivot and make any changes necessary. It does kind of look like I'm drinking a jar of dirt, doesn't it? It's not very appealing to look at. I should have used my rose syrup and made it pink. Mmm, dirt. Salient question. With a champion that costs 100,000 gems, a familiar that costs 250,000, and a core that costs 500,000, what do you think the first 1 million gem item will be? What if it's a patron? What if that's the unlock mechanic for a patron? They'd have to be like a super high-end patron with just like ridiculous patron perks and patron shop items to justify that investment. But that could be interesting. Like, what if that's how you get the Elminster patron or something? You just pay like 1 million gems. Ugh. No, I don't know, because, I'll be honest with y'all. I don't like using gems to access game content. Like, it's interesting that you can get nerds, the very first champion that's available for gems, but it's so much. It's 100,000 gems. And the Strong Modron core being 500,000 gems. See, like, for people who do scripting, I know how ridiculous their gem totals are. I have delved into the well of spoilers. I have seen the brag post screenshots that people make. I know the conversations about bags per hour, BPH. You can get a lot of gems when you're scripting. But the game is not intended to be scripted. We neither, like, officially condemn nor condone. So it feels like when we release something that costs, like, oh, this costs so many gems. Well, for the people who script, like, that's not a big deal. And the people who don't, like, it is a big deal. So, like, that ends up being a very different game experience for those players. So, like, I wish there was, I don't know, either a better method somehow. So, what if instead of, like, game content, like a patron, what if it was something like, more cosmetic stuff, but on a grander scale? Like, an entire UI change. Like, different themes. Like, oh yeah, I want a dwarven stone theme for all of my UI windows. Just all of these different windows that show up instead of, like, the black and silver. It's like dwarven stonework with little carved runes on the corners or something. I could see that being another cosmetic thing that we get into. And then maybe there's different levels of those, and maybe like a legendary UI theme that has, like, sound effects and animations to it. Cost 1 million gems. Yeah. "8-bit UI, 1 million gems. Now that's cool. That would be cool. I would love to see that. I forget the name of the person, and if you're listening, or if you get message of this, I'm sorry that I forget your name. There is someone who has been doing pixel art renditions of champion portraits in the game. It looks really good. I think they've been posting it on Instagram. I don't remember the name of the person, but they've been being shared internally, and every time I'm like, oh, that's so cool! It's nice to see. I love when people do fan art in general. I mean, who doesn't? Like, for anything that you're passionate about, it's always cool to see fan art. What about you all? Let me flip that around. If there was something that cost 1 million gems, what do you think it should be? A champion, a Modron core, a patron, a skin, something totally new that doesn't exist in the game currently. What do you think is worth 1 million gems? Especially, I would be curious if if your perspective is that of a newer player. So someone who doesn't even have, like, a ton of gems yet. A whole pack of familiars, that would make sense. Maybe as, like, a bundle. So instead of buying, like, First of all of the familiars in the game currently do not cost 1 million gems total. But if we had enough gem familiars in the game that they cost more than 1 million gems, maybe just getting them all for 1 million gems as a bundle, so that you save some gems that way, that might be cool. A build your own champion. Woo! That would be a lot of work. Unlock Modron Overflow for 1 million gems. Yeah, bring that back, yeah. Reskin your entire active party to a common theme. Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah, like, I don't know, they all become Brunor. Just everyone on the field looks like Brunor. They all use the Brunor model. We are all tutorial dwarf. Me king! The ability to skip time gate variants for chests. Oh. Okay. So, like, you still have to open the time gate, but you just have, like, a skip button that you've unlocked. I like that that would at least be an option then, because sometimes people just want to play variants because they're fun, or because there's some variants that are actually useful. Like for farming Zorbu or Chihiro or what have you. 1 billion gems to field a Serac on your side. Yeah, summon a boss to fight for you. That'd be cool. A global blessing. The party walks to the left instead of to the right. Yeah. Like, make it something that's just pointless. Like, oh, for 100 million gems, everything in the game is just flipped. Like, it doesn't actually help you in any way. It's just a silly cosmetic thing, yeah. The ability to buy a potion once a week to change the race of all champions in information until reset. Oh, to change the race of all champions? Whoa. That would be huge. Okay. Alright. Universal chest for any champion with a guaranteed random golden item. Ooh! So like a legendary tier chest or something. Interesting. Training grounds for learning how to properly use champions. I think we should just have that in the game. I don't think there should be any kind of a cost for that. I think we should just have a thing for that. Like an expanded tutorial that you can choose to activate anytime you want. So, like, maybe you take some time away from the game and you don't want to, like, restart your entire account. So there's just, like, a retraining ground that you can go to when you come back. Unlock potion brewing? Oh, like a whole new subsystem. Interesting. Mirror title champions disturbs me. Nice. Wow, yeah. A lot more answers for this than I was expecting. That's awesome, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Tell you what, after the stream, I will, like, actually go back to, like, I'm gonna write down the timestamp for this. We're, like, an hour 25 into this one. I'm gonna go back in and, like, grab all these suggestions and just compile a list and just throw it over to the devs, being like, any of these sound good for 1,000,000 gems? And we'll see what happens. Can't promise anything, but I can at least make suggestions. Unlock audio story mode, voiced by me? Oh my god, that'd be so much work. If they really wanted me to, I would do it. It would take so long, though. It'd take so long. Sorry, Jordan just shared some extremely cool news with me. I won't say what it is to respect her privacy, but that's awesome. Congratulations, Jordan. Super cool. And move on to questions. Ooh, Jordan says I can share. Okay, cool. I get excited and I want to share things. All right, so Jordan had to step away for a second. Apparently, Jordan just got the Tiltify top fundraiser banner that in 1 year of streaming, Jordan and her community has raised over $15,000 for Color of Change. So that's awesome. I have never raised that much money for any charity. I would like to. So that's, wow. Like, it's one thing to talk the talk, and it's another to walk the walk, you know, like actually being a force for positive change. Respect. That's awesome. Seriously. Seeing the outpouring of congratulations from people in chat. Good on you, Twitch chat. Hey. Yeah. Enjoy this moment, Jordan. Really soak it in. It's awesome that you've been able to help so much. I hope to get to that point someday. With a lot of the good influences in my life currently, hopefully I will be steered in that direction. We got a lot more questions to go through. I see 51 total here, and I'm currently on 33, so we got a lot of work to do. So let's do it. Wolfson, question. Strix's haunted ability, is there a known issue with it? Not that I know of. I don't seem to see any damage increase after characters die, even though I have the buff reading 9k damage boost. I haven't heard of that. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an issue with that, but I had not heard of that myself, personally. Oh, thank you, Jordan. I appreciate those kind words. But yeah. Is anyone in chat, have you experienced this issue with Strix? About not actually getting a buff from Strix's haunted ability, even though you have stacks? I have not noticed that myself. And I haven't seen people talking about it. But it's not like I have eyes everywhere all of the time. So I might just be missing those conversations. For now, I'm going to move on. Coulomb Savage, question. How do you maintain a sufficient supply of speed potions? I never seem to have enough. You don't. Even... Sorry. But honestly, even on my main account, I never seem to have enough. I agree. It's the one type of potion that I always feel like I need more of. If there was, like, some other additional method for accruing speed potions specifically, if there was some kind of, like, a system that I could activate in my game that, like, reduces the pool of consumable items in favor of getting other consumable items, I would probably like, tune everything else down in my chest and just tune up speed potions as much as I can. Like, Blacksmithing Contracts, down. Bounty Contracts, down. Any other types of potions, down. Speed potions, rip, and then break the dial off. Yeah, maybe I can pay 1 million gems for that. Yeah. I would. I would absolutely pay 1 million gems for a alchemy station potion conversion table of some kind, yeah. I would 100% do that. I wouldn't even hesitate. Alex Byrne, question, why are conversions from time gates, trials, and events breakpoint based and not scaling on a log scale? I am the wrong person to ask that question, Alex, sorry. That's a Dave and Justin question for sure. Save that one for Developer Insights. It's a good question. I would love to know, just in general, like, the reasons behind their design decisions. Because I am interested in game design now that I'm, like, actually in the company. So I would love, Alex, if you, like, seriously took that to Dev Insights and asked so that I could grab it and put it on the questions document for them to answer. Because I am the moderator for that show, alongside Martin. So I am the one catching questions for that one. Please, ask that question. I want to know the answer, too. Smugglebeera, when do you hit threshold to start buying gem feats? I'm still working for chest feats and epic gear for Evergreen. Actually answered this question earlier for somebody else. If you're full epic on your Evergreen champions, and you've got all your patrons going, you're not really struggling with events anymore, it's time. It's time to start investing in feats. Just don't go, like, hog wild and buy every single gem feat that you see. Prioritize the ones that give ability score increases such that that champion then qualifies for a patron that they did not previously qualify for. Secondary priority, pick up feats that increase the power of the unique formation abilities of that champion, if that champion is a champion that you are frequently using. And then third priority is everything else. Corn Vlad, how much gold does DM give me? About 1,000%. Like, just barely over 1,000% currently. Turbo Rocky, what's best on Averin? Is it sturdy mirrors or empowered mirrors? Sturdy! Sturdy mirrors! Basically everybody that talks about using Averin, like me, Gar, Lauren, like, just everybody. Everybody that streams the game and talks about, like, what we suggest doing for things, it's always going to be sturdy mirrors for Averin. Because... I'll say why in just a second. Here's Averin. Instead of just answering, I'm also going to, like, explain. So Averin, cast mirror image every 15 seconds. It lasts for 30 seconds. And whatever champion it goes to gets buffed depending on what their tags are, whether they're DPS, support, or a tank. Okay? Cool. Seeing Double increases the damage of all champions by a multiplicative amount for each champion adjacent to Averin. The base amount is increased by 50% for each active mirror image effect on the adjacent champion. The mirror images last for 30 seconds. And he casts every 15 seconds. Which means by default, the most he can have at once is 2 mirrors out. If you take sturdy mirrors, it doubles the duration. They last for 60 seconds. So it's then possible for him to have 4 mirrors out at the same time. So it's far more likely that your mirrors are going to go into the champions that you want them to go onto, because he can cast 4 at once, instead of only 2. And then you're getting even more of the multiplicative bonus, because he just has more mirrors. Always take sturdy. Always. Zyro4321, do you think DM is good? Yes. Depending entirely on where and when you're using him. regular adventures, deep pushing, you can do so much better than Dungeon Master. Because his true power lies in what he brings to the table for adventure variants, especially patron variants. Because of his ability to just completely ignore any restrictions. Like, you can only use non-human champions. Alright, whatever, I'm the Dungeon Master, I make my own rules. I get to be in this too. Well, okay, I guess. Well, in this adventure, you can only use 2 champions. Alright, go ahead. Put out Warden, put out Ayla. Also, I'm here too. I'm the Dungeon Master. I make the rules. Here's my friend, Dahani. She's here too. Why? Because I said so. I'm the Dungeon Master. I love this guy. He's a game changer for these champion restriction variants that exist. But for regular non-variant play, he doesn't really give you a lot. And it's really interesting that he has such a huge division there. I want more champions like that. Yeah, he's literally a game changer. That's funny. Sheba Kevin, question, where's a good stage to find some Fey enemies for a patron quest? Mad Wizard. Mad Wizard. You can get a Mad Wizard for everything but undead for patron challenges, I think. You get Fey, you can get Beast, you can get Humanoids, you can get Constructs, you can get Fiends. You can't get Undead. Gotta go somewhere else for that. So basically, if it's anything other than Undead, you go to Mad Wizard. Oh, thank you, Belle. Thank you. Oh, that's translated as Insane Wizard in Spanish? Ooh, I don't love that. Okay. Well, thank you for letting me know about that, Lajos Marcha. I'll tell you what, just to make sure anyone who might have a language barrier knows exactly what I'm talking about, I am suggesting this adventure right here. The one that has an icon of an old man with one eye. This one. Corn Vlad. Is there any way to change the alignment of any character? Because in the Mert mode, I can use only good or evil champions, and I would like to be able to use Aliwikpishi's Katakuchul. Yeah, I getcha. Yes and no. Okay, so there is a champion named Corazon who makes it so that champions, basically that he's adjacent to, also count as neutral. But it doesn't actually change their alignment. And you'd have to also, like, already have them on the field anyway. So, yeah. Currently, there's no way to actually change a champion's alignment. Perhaps in the future. I would love to see, like, feats that change tags. Like alignment, for example. Like, I can see an argument made for Jarlaxle going from neutral evil to just neutral via a feat to represent his, like, being affected by the good nature of the other good aligned heroes that he's been traveling with all these years. He's not really portrayed in the dialogue as an outright villain anyway. He's selfish, and he's largely apathetic and like a wisecracking wild card. But he is rarely ever portrayed as actually evil. He still does the good thing at the end of the day. Yeah, he's an anti-hero, exactly. So I don't love that he's listed as evil, because I don't feel like he actually is presented as such in the game. Lahos Mortra question, to which dark god do you have to sacrifice the least time to get 100k gems or more? Torm, I suppose, if you want to make an argument for that, because your blessings are actually corresponding to gods of the Forgotten Realm. So Torm is like a god of justice. And Torm's favor from Grand Tour the Sword Coast Adventures is the favor of the deity Torm. So, as far as grinding for gems goes, the best place is generally going to the Mad Wizard adventure. And because that is an adventure in the Grand Tour of the Sword Coast, which uses Torm's favor, then I think that means that you are sacrificing to the Dark God Torm the fewest times in order to reach 100,000 gems. It was a little bit of a joke, but also true. Mikey Moo, 16743. What happened to the first 16,742 Mikey Moos? What formation shape is the hardest to work with? Dungeon Master. The event that we just had, Dungeon Master's formation, was hell. That was very difficult. That was a very difficult shape to work with. It was a 3-tank formation with very few adjacencies. And it was also spread out. It delighted me because it's in the shape of a roller coaster, which is very thematically on brand for Dungeon Master. But, like, actual game design, oh my god, that was a challenge to actually work with for formations. Whew! That was rough. I think that's my number one for hardest formation to work with right now. Talons was also difficult. I remember that, Zerg. Yeah, Talons was rough too, but I think Dungeon Master more so. Coulomb Savage question, with the nerf, is Ashara no longer a top-tier TPS? No, I think she still is. It's just, less so in patrons versus in free plays. Oh, you're welcome, Lahos. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help people. To entertain and to educate. And to showcase new content, of course. If people are learning things and enjoying their time with me, then I consider it a job well done. So, I'm glad that this is helping you. I do all that. Oh, thank you, Dracon. Thank you. Answered that one earlier, too. Julie Lee, question, is Krydle still broken or do they patch that? I believe that's been fixed. The changelog says from last Tuesday, so like 8 days ago, fixed Krydle Smoke Bomb getting misinterpreted as click damage, which is apparently what was causing the problem. But I've also heard people saying that it was actually his ultimate and not the smoke bomb effect of his attack that was the real source of power. So, maybe? I haven't tried Krydle DPS since that change, since that patch went out. So, can anyone in chat confirm whether Krydle is like actually fixed now, or if it's still busted? Shuvi says Krydle fixed, Lousy Bum says Krydle ult was entirely irrelevant. I could have sworn I heard Gar say that it was about his ultimate, but maybe I misheard him. Krydle's a lot worse now. Aw, yeah, it's a shame. I've heard plenty of people saying they can't get the same progress to Krydle debuff now. Cool. Okay. Alright. I mean, obviously not cool, but I'm glad that we fix bugs. I trust in the vision of the developers of Codename to give us, like, a good experience overall. But progress is never linear. It's messy. And I think this is one of those messy moments where, like, yeah, it hurts. But Bell, I understand and agree completely. Yeah. This should have been something that we noticed and fixed years ago. But somehow, it just flew under our radar this entire time. And at least it's fixed now. Because we can't, like... How do I say this? Like, meaningful game design requires a stable playing field, right? Like, we could have a really, just chef kiss, awesomely designed character. But if there's another character in that same slot who's just utterly busted and is just the de facto strongest character in the game, then everybody's going to use that character. So, like, we can't have good game design if things are broken. Now, of course, Kreidel in his current state isn't great, and he does need, well, at least some new things added, if not an entire rework. But I trust that eventually we will get there. The game's not going away anytime soon. Let's see if I can get through the rest of these before... I got like 10 questions to go. And I got like 8 minutes to do it in. Let's go! Smugglebeer question. Do you know how potions work on offline progress? No. So... I was under the understanding that potions paused when you're in offline progress. But last week, I was streaming with Sean, and, like, on the show, Sean explained to me that they do actually keep working, that potions actually work offline now, and that they will tick down. I didn't know that. So right now I'm going to say no, I don't. I don't really know how potions work offline. Because I thought I did, but then Sean says that I was wrong. I'll admit when I'm wrong about something. Drakon, 1972. How do you make Briv do 4 jumps? Oh, you just get his item level on his slot 4 item, which is his mount. It's a dragon when he gets it to epic level, so like if you have a dragon on his slot 4, then good for you. You just get the item level for that sky high, just as much as you can. Like thousands of item levels. Can anyone confirm? I think it's like 6262? Is that it? Item level 6262 in order to get 4 skip Briv on epic? Is that right? Or is my memory failing me? 3626 on gold epic. Okay, thank you, Bell. Thank you, Rejuvi. 7k something for normal epic. Okay, so I was close then. Lousy Bum says 7501 is 100% 4 skip on a regular epic. Alright, thanks, y'all. Appreciate that. I was close. Alright. So yeah, thousands. Thousands of item levels. If you want to, get up to 4 skip Briv. New chatter, Oslanod. Welcome. Good to have you. Do you wait till all of your items are blue or purple before using? Before using what? I think we're missing some context for that question. If you're still here, Oslanod, and you want to clarify, maybe rephrase the question, I'd be happy to answer that. I need a few more words there. Count Zero interrupted. Question, can you farm gems, like fight a boss over and over on the chance more gems will drop? You can farm gems, yes, but not on the same stage. Like, I can't go back to stage 155 and keep killing the same boss over and 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 over. I won't keep getting gems for that, no. You farm gems by just running the same adventure over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and that's why people like go to Mad Wizard, because the stages go faster there. Oh, it was about blacksmith contracts. Okay, thank you, chat, thank you. So Oslanot is asking, do you wait till all of your items are blue and purple before using Blacksmithing Contracts? Nope, I do not. No. Because, your items will not start over in item level when they upgrade to a new tier. So, like, if I go ahead and use some Blacksmithing Contracts on Kreidel right now, and they land on this slot 4 or slot 5, and then later they become blue, or even epic, they become purple, those item levels that I threw at them are not wasted. They are inherited into the higher tier version of the item. So I don't lose anything. We answered those earlier. Okay. I'm going to pronounce this as Superman 95. They use some numbers in their name, like Leet speak, but hopefully if you're out there, you know I'm talking to you. Superman 95. New to the game, only just started. Welcome to Idle Champions, my friend. I hope that you enjoy it. Don't know what I should be focusing on, where I should start. There's a few things. It is very often the case, like multiple times a week, people come into my chat and ask me like, hey, I'm a new player. What should I be doing? What should I focus on? What should my priorities be? What is some new player advice? There's a lot. I've done this many times now. So one, join the community. Awesome. You've already taken the first step for that by being here in a Twitch chat and asking a question. We have a lot of shows like this, and I'm on here for this show 5 times a week, so plenty of opportunities to talk to me specifically. But we have other show hosts that answer questions too, especially on Thursdays. And that's also me for a lot of Thursday, for that matter. Oh, I just saw a wasp. It's the first wasp that I've seen this year. Big wasp. Wow. Huge. Sorry. Join the Discord, !Discord, in chat. We'll get you a link to it. You can also just type into your browser, discord.gg/idlechampions. And on the Discord, you're going to meet a bunch of more friendly people, just like in Twitch chat right now. Hi! And there's also just really helpful channels on the Discord. There's a new players channel, so that's just super useful, because you just ask questions and people will answer you. There's always someone in there willing to help somebody who's new. There's a formations channel where you can get advice about your formations, and just all kinds of other specialized channels for different topics. There's the Reddit as well, which might be more your speed, I don't know. Different people prefer different social media. I only really use the Discord and the Reddit. We have other places too, but that's all I really care about. Have fun. That's enormous. Don't worry about optimizing things for now, especially because we don't have an event live at the moment, so there's not really like a huge pressure for you to do something in a limited time at the moment. Just get a feel for the game. Like, spend this first like day or two literally just playing the game and seeing just how it feels. What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? What do you want to know more about? Which characters do you find cool? Maybe click on the time gates button, view available time gates, and just review this list and see if there's any characters that like stand out to you as like, oh man, Yorvin looks so cool. He's like a scary bunny guy. I want to know more about Yorvin. And then we can help you. We can teach you about Yorvin. We can tell you what he's for, what he does. Just get a feel for the game. Meet people. Get involved in the community. It really will help you in the long run. I strongly feel that. And Nox Anguis, will there be a content drop today? Yes, there's a content drop. That'll be coming in, what? 4 hours from now? Yeah. 3 hours? Okay. Oh yeah, because it's almost noon over here on the East Coast. Right. So it's almost 9 on the West Coast. Working across different time zones is hard sometimes. Alright. And that's it. I made it in 8 minutes. So, let me wrap up so that we can get out of here. Thank you all for joining me for this episode of Mars Guiding Hand. Clink. Good one today. Helped a lot of people. Answered a lot of questions. Check out all the other awesome shows that we have. Guiding Hand will return this afternoon at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll be playing on my main account and going through whatever new content comes out today. Aha. Coming up next, I think, is... I think we have a couple rebroadcasts on the schedule. Yeah, and then I'm coming back live, and then we'll have Sketching Hour after that. Oh, it's a rerun of Garwar's Guide to Whittle's Champions of Renown. Nice. And then a rerun of Champions of Lore. Thank you, Jordan. Oh, for the subject of gnomes. Ha! Fun. Cool. Alright, so if you missed those, this is your chance to watch those. You can follow Idle Champions on social media, just about everywhere. You can find me on Twitter at Ryan Blake Hall, but please call me Mars. That is my preference. Thank you. Thank you to Codename Entertainment. Thank you, Jordan, for moderating, producing, and catching questions for me today. Cheers, and congratulations again, Jordan, on your own achievement. I hope you're proud. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I had a good time today. Especially, thanks again for that hype train. I needed that little pick-me-up, because I'm really tired. Wherever you are in the multiverse, be safe, be kind, help somebody today. You know, just do what you can to make the world a little bit better. It's not hard. And until next time, look sharp. I really love this Darjeeling tea, y'all. I'm going to have to stock up on this stuff. I can't believe I waited this long to try Darjeeling tea, and now I'm hooked on it. It's really good. Oh, wish me luck for unlocking Azaka. I'm really gonna try.